Hello everyone, welcome back to AutoTrendTV. This is VIPRAAJESH from the beautiful outskirts of Coimbatore. Today I am here with the brand new Tata Tiago iCNG XZ Plus variant. Tata Motors has been missed out on the CNG marketplace compared to its rivals such as Maruti Suzuki and Hyundai, but now finally they have introduced the Tata Tiago and Tigor CNG variants. I am going to take this Tata Tiago iCNG XZ Plus for a detailed test drive and we'll see how does this perform when compared to the petrol engine and the petrol performance of its competitors and itself. So first now let's take a look at the engine bay.
Let me take you for a ride, dancing with the lights, our hearts beating like a drum tonight. Let me take you for a ride, for a ride.
The reason why I chose to open the bonnet first is that this car has the same exact 1.2 litre 3-cylinder Revotron petrol engine seen on the Tata Tiago and Tigor. However, for the CNG versions, this powertrain has been slightly modified, thus making it able to run on CNG gas fuel. Just like before, in the petrol mode, this engine produces 86 PS of maximum power and 113 Nm of maximum torque. However, in the CNG mode, this engine produces 75 PS of maximum power and 95 Nm of maximum torque. We will get to see the on-road performance once we start the drive. For now, let's quickly take a tour of the exterior and interior of this updated XZ Plus iCNG. Yes, this is the brand new midnight plum color introduced on the new Tata Tiago XZ Plus variant. It is essentially a dark and deep shade of wine red with a tinge of purple. This new 2022 XZ Plus variant now has projector headlamps, chrome finished grille and LED DRLs borrowed from the Tata Tigor. And while the Tiago looks more premium than before, it is hard to differentiate between the Tigor and the Tiago at the front at least. Moving on towards the sides though, this Tata Tiago XZ Plus is fitted with 14-inch hyper-style steel wheels. That's because this is the iCNG version. The regular petrol-powered XZ Plus variant comes with 15-inch alloy wheels as standard. In order to cope up with the extra weight and the cost factor of the CNG kit, Tata Motors has fitted this XZ Plus CNG version with 14-inch wheels. And yes, this updated XZ Plus now features chrome finished door handles and a chrome tailgate garnish borrowed from the Tigor. Well, apart from these updates and the iCNG badging on the tailgate, there is nothing really to differentiate this Tiago CNG from the other Tiagos. And this XZ Plus, like before, also provides rear windshield wiper washer with defogger and a reverse parking camera. Let's now check out the cabin updates. Yes folks, this is how the dashboard of the all-new Tata Tiago XZ Plus iCNG top spec variant looks like, and to be frank, there is no surprise because the overall design, layout and all the features are identical to the any other XZ Plus facelifted Tata Tiago, including this touchscreen system. There is also the automatic climate control and this digital instrument cluster, which is also standard across all variants. However, this iCNG variant has quite a bit of features integrated into this instrument cluster itself, and the main difference on the center console is this CNG button. Well, yes, I have started this car and currently the car is running in CNG mode. That is why the green light is lit over here, and that is also the CNG indication in the instrument cluster itself. So talking about the instrument cluster, let's now take a look at what all additions and removals have happened in this instrument cluster. There is no engine temperature gauge now. Instead of that, Tata Motors have integrated the CNG tank gauge over here, which is quite helpful and nice and large, almost equivalent to the petrol tank gauge over here. So that is nice. However, another interesting detail in this MID at the center is that only if the car is running in the petrol mode, you get to see the distance to empty. That means the range of the car in the petrol fuel and average mileage of 2 trip meters. You can see that I am now leaving the display in the distance to empty display and switching it into CNG mode. So once you switch into CNG mode, there is no distance to empty display over here and there is no average mileage, even though it shows the true trip meters. So this is quite an interesting display decision over here. So frankly, if you are in CNG mode, the car will not show the range available with the amount of fuel, and it also does not show the average mileage. So that is how Tata Motors have decided to do it. Apart from that, everything else remains exactly identical, including the steering mounted audio controls, and you also get the flat bottom steering wheel, which is tilt adjustable. There is also this 7-inch Harman touchscreen system with 8 speakers as standard on this XZ Plus variant. Well, the XZ variant, which is one spec lower to this XZ Plus, is not available with the CNG option. That's it. It is a good thing that this top spec XZ Plus variant is available with the CNG option compared to some other Maruti Suzuki and Hyundai rivals. Well, coming lower down, this is the automatic climate control console over here, which also can be controlled using this touchscreen system. As you can see, there are controls over here for the automatic climate control, and this here is the standard 5-speed manual gearbox available as standard. That said, there is no 5-speed AMT gearbox available as an option on the CNG variants. If you are opting for a CNG version of the Tiago or the Tigor, you have the only choice of the 5-speed manual gearbox, no AMT. That said, apart from all these features, there is one significant change in terms of the interior color theme. Every other variant of the Tata Tiago used to get black on top of the dashboard and the door pads. However, only on this new XZ Plus updated variant, you will get to see a light beige kind of color on the lower part of the door pads and the dashboard, which is nice and a bit more premium than the usual grey. The same light beige color has also been carried forward to the center console, including the cup holders over here, the bottle holders, and the handbrake console itself. And coming to other features on the doors, you can see that these new door locks are even more premium than before with this metal finish, and the old door locks being replaced by these more modern looking and functional door locks. Obviously, this being the top spec variant, you get one touch down function for the driver window along with auto folding function for the ORVMs. Well, apart from that, only this XZ Plus variant of the CNG range gets height adjustable driver seat. That's because the XZ variant on the petrol versions also get height adjustment, but the CNG option is not available on the XZ variant. Then coming on towards the roof, well, obviously you can see this day night adjustable IRVM, which is now standard from the second level XM variant itself. Yes, Tata Motors has introduced a new XM variant in the Tata Tiago's lineup, exclusive only with the CNG version, because the petrol version has the second variant as the XT, but the XM is exclusively available only with the CNG option, which is an interesting decision. But even that variant gets this day night adjustable IRVM now. And the roof material, however, you can see that this is a far more knitted and premium looking and feeling roof lining material, which is exclusive only for the top spec XZ Plus. And all variants of the Tata Tiago, just like before, get this centrally mounted white LED cabin lamp, which is nice and premium again. Apart from all that, the seating, the cushion, the comfort, everything is superb. The seats are nicely supportive and very superbly bolstered as well. The front seats especially are very comfortable. Now, talking about storage spaces, the glove box is obviously a cooled one from the mid-spec XZ variant itself, which is nice and large. Also, you also have these standard cup holders and bottle holders in the center console, and the front doors can hold 2 half-liter bottles, whereas if you want to store 1-liter bottles, you have to do that in the rear doors. So that was all about the new features and updates regarding the Tata Tiago XZ Plus iCNG variants interior. Let's now take a look at the rear seats. Yes folks, this is how the dashboard of the iCNG XZ Plus variant of the Tata Tiago looks like from the rear seat. To be frank, apart from the color change with regarding to the light beige color on the lower part of the dashboard, there is no difference whatsoever, especially on this XZ Plus variant, except for the CNG badge as well. Now the rear seat space and everything remains identical, and the rear seat comfort, the absence of adjustable headrests is also exactly the same as before. Just like the front doors and the dashboard, the lower part of the rear doors also have been changed into this light beige color, which definitely feels more airy and more premium. So apart from that, there is no difference over here. And let's now take a look at the boot space now. Well, to check whether if there is any boot space. Even in today's time, the Tata Tiago's boot has to be opened by pulling this lever in the driver footwell. And this being the iCNG version of the Tiago, which already is a compact hatchback, you don't get literally any luggage space at all. Instead, you get a 60-liter CNG gas tank and the sequential CNG kit, for which the entire boot space has been compromised. All CNG variants get this parcel tray available as standard, and while this CNG tank has got a liquid capacity of 60 liters, when it comes to CNG gas, it can accommodate up to 12 kilos only. Under this gas tank, you get only small amount of storage space for your small knickknacks, and just like before, the 13-inch space saver spare wheel is located underneath, which literally cannot be accessed through the tailgate. In case if there are no passengers in the back seat and there is a lot of luggage, you obviously have the option of completely folding flat the rear seats. And just like every other Tiago, the Tiago CNG also has a 2-step seat back folding process. And only after folding the rear seats flat, you can access the spare wheel through the cabin. So these are the sort of compromises you have to make on such a compact hatchback when it's fit with sequential CNG kit. Well, being a sequential kit, this has its own safety precautions, like the CNG shutoff valve, which you can completely turn off if you are not using the CNG gas. And apart from this kit also has the automatic cut-off function in case of any emergency or impact. And apart from cutting the fuel line off, the remaining gas will be dissipated into the atmosphere. The CNG gas has to be filled using the same petrol filling port. However, this flap now has a micro switch, which makes sure that the engine cannot be started or turned on if the fuel filling port panel is open. Apart from the compromise in terms of boot space, this CNG sequential kit itself weighs almost 60 kilos, for which the suspension has been retuned and the ground clearance has been reduced to 168 mm. So now that we have seen the boot space or the CNG tank which is in its place, let's now get in the driver's seat and start the drive. Yes folks, I am right now inside this Tata Tiago XZ Plus iCNG. Well, we have already driven the petrol regular Tata Tiago, which is no surprise. It has got 86 PS of maximum power, this same 1.2 litre Revotron 3-cylinder petrol engine. But now this engine is mated to a CNG system, and it also has been modified to run with CNG gas fuel. So, well, usually the compression ratio and all those stuff regarding the power of any CNG engine is slightly lower to that seen on a petrol powered engine, the petrol fuel, despite being the same engine. But let's see how has Tata Motors tuned this Revotron engine with respect to CNG fuel. First, let's start the car. One thing I would like to say is that whenever you start this Tata Tiago iCNG or even the Tigor iCNG, the car starts in CNG mode. Yeah, so turning off the CNG, there is no sound at all. There is only that mild sort of click or something when it changes from CNG to petrol or petrol to CNG. So now I am in the CNG mode. First, let's start with the petrol mode and see how's the acceleration. Then only I'll be able to differentiate with the CNG power. Okay, so this is the petrol power. And it is seamless. It is, well, unexpectedly, surprisingly, quite peppy. I mean, this may be just a 3-cylinder 1.2 litre engine, but it is still producing 86 PS of maximum power, which means the power response is pretty good in this petrol engine. But yes, now talking about CNG, let me just stop the car again and try accelerating again. Stopping the car, putting it into CNG. Okay, so that's CNG mode, and putting the pedal. Okay. Well, trust me, the car is running in CNG mode. Well, there is only that slight bit of drop in terms of torque and power output. The surge is a bit more mild compared to the petrol power, but apart from that, it is more than capable. When you put your foot down all the way, well, yeah, it is surprisingly pretty good. Wow, I'm actually pretty surprised. It almost feels like a petrol engine in terms of power and performance. It does not feel like a laggy CNG powertrain. But yes, once you turn on the aircon, there may be a slight bit of a drop in terms of power. I'll get to see that right now. Yeah, in terms of acceleration, there is that even slight bit of drop in terms of power and performance once you turn on the automatic climate control. But apart from that, ambling around upon speed breakers on bad roads in second gear and accelerating from second gear. And even if you are, well, currently I am in doing 25 km per hour in terms of speed, slotting it into fourth from here. And yeah, I'm doing 40 right now. Yeah, that is more than adequate power in order to keep you up with traffic. And trust me, I'm still in the CNG mode. This is very, very surprising. It does not feel laggy at all. Okay, within no time I'm doing 60. And from 60 km per hour, that was fifth gear. And yeah, it does not matter. Even if you are in a higher gear, lower speeds, there is no problem at all. This car can amble around easily. And if you want to accelerate quickly, sort of overtaking and all, starting it into fourth now and putting the pedal down. Yeah, this is where the high and the top range of the engine is, where there is that slight bit of reduction in terms of power when you compare with the petrol mode. But apart from that, in moderate city speeds and well, ambling around, this just feels like the regular petrol mode. Yeah, I am surprised. Yeah, that's why 75 PS is not less. It is pretty good and capable. Yeah, that's what I feel. Okay, so let's now see how does this perform on higher speeds as well. For that, let's just get out on the highway. Yes, folks, as you can see, there is a vast highway ahead of me, and I have turned off the car to show you in which mode the car actually turns on. As you can see, the car automatically has turned on in the CNG mode. So this is a unique feature of the Tata Tiago. Every time you turn off the car in any mode, the car default turns on in the CNG mode. So yeah, this drive is regarding the CNG drive experience. So let's try accelerating in the CNG mode from the start to end. Putting the pedal to metal. I'm doing 100. And yeah, even if you want more power, even if you want to accelerate from 100 km per hour, yeah, this is where things get a bit slower in terms of progress, but still there is ample power to maintain the car at 100 km per hour speed, even in the CNG mode. As you can see, from 90 km per hour, it still is accelerating. That is more than enough power to keep you maintained at 100, 105 km per hour speed. And only if you want to go to up to 120, above 110, things get a bit slower. Now switching into petrol mode while on the go. So this is petrol mode, and instantly you feel the difference in terms of torque. The petrol mode definitely feels more responsive. It has more torque on the mid-range and even on the high range. So yeah, petrol is effortless in terms of high speed. Obviously this petrol engine can maintain up to 160 km per hour, but it is always safe to be under the 120 mark, especially on Indian roads. That said, apart from all the performance stuff, I feel that this car is still a very solid, small, compact car. I mean, it definitely does not feel like a compact car in terms of ride, handling and comfort. The ride quality is superb. Despite the reduced ground clearance and additional weight of this CNG variant, it feels composed, it feels nice and confident. The steering feel, feedback, everything is confident. The car remains stable at even above, say, 120 or something speeds. So this is a capable car, and with this CNG extended range version, it is more capable on the long go. Except for the fact that you have to compromise on luggage space, this is a proper package. if you don't want to stop for fuel refilling that often. Yeah, so let's now conclude this review because I am impressed. So that was a detailed test drive review of the brand new Tata Tiago's iCNG XZ Plus variant. I feel that this can be an all-rounder, dual-purpose, long-range city car which can also be used on the highways as well. And the CNG power is not bad at all, given the fact that it has 75 PS of maximum power in the CNG mode itself, which is slightly more than the competitors. So the pricing for the Tata Tiago CNG range is on the screen above right now. Meanwhile, this is VIPRAAJESH signing off. See you on another video. Thank you for watching.